Hey y'all, and welcome to the Max Life. Today is going to be a video of some maintenance things that I just needed to get done. I have some old work clothes on, and I'm going to show you what we're going to be getting done right now. In honor of kicking off full-fledged pool season, we have done a major makeover right here on the back porch. Just getting some of our old pool chairs that we have had. They have had their wear here. Actually, several of them were already getting cracks in the plastic bottoms, which would not have been good if somebody would have sat down in them, and they broke this summer, so we decided it was time for them to go. Same thing with the rocking chair we had here and over here. Actually, Aiden sat down in one, and the bottom leg of the that was connected to the actual curved rocking part was rotten and it snapped. He didn't hit the ground, but it was a very close call. Some other maintenance things down, I'll just walk y'all down there. Down on our outdoor living space, every summer we come in and we clean this up real good, give it a good spray down, clean off the concrete really good, because over the winter it just builds up, dust and pollen, and you know, all of those things build up. We decided to see, we have some maintenance that we need to do. You see our fan is literally falling apart. So we did have to get a new fan. We have had this table for a couple of years. It was actually a Mother's Day gift for me many years ago. But we decided to move all of the furniture that was down here out and put the big wooden table down here. These were some of the chairs that were made to go with it that actually matches the set. So we kind of made this like pretty much all of our wooden seating down here because it is covered. What we did with the patio furniture that was down there, Livy, come on. Livy is working on learning how to swim, but we don't have it quite yet. So we're gonna lock the gate back off. The patio furniture we have moved up here. This was actually a jacuzzi that we've had for several years, but we did not buy it new. It was already an older model and used. We just don't spend top dollar on luxury items that don't really feed us or provide for us. This was just something fun. So we actually found it for a steal of a deal and got this years ago. And it still works fine. The kids still get in it and love it and enjoy it, but it needs some maintenance. This is some sections that we have needed to fix so that you can see the holes that were already there. We have caulked up. I have some screwing to do on the other side to just get the access panel back right. If you come over here and look on the other side over here, I just need to fix this back up and get that back right. And then we're gonna paint. I already had some paint left over. Are you painting, Livy? I had some leftover paint from whenever we painted the house, the gray color up there, if you can see in between those boards. We already have that left over. So this little addition of spiffing up the side of the jacuzzi, kind of maneuvering the furniture around here, actually doesn't cost us anything except for some time and some energy. The next order of business for today is going to be, yes, those are ugly rust spots that I hate with a passion. I have had a couple of suggestions. Pressure washing it does not get it off. I'm gonna show y'all what I do and tell you if they work or not, but they are such an eyesore. We used to have an iron table right here, and of course you can see that right now we just have a firewood holder, but I am gonna do some things a little bit differently right here and try to get this not on my concrete because I do not want any more rust spots if I can get the ones off that I already have on there. So this is something that I really needed to get knocked out today. We are taking a family trip tomorrow minus Colby. We've got to leave Colby behind because he has to work. So we're going to a zoo that's about an hour and a half away from us. It is really small, but our small group class in our church is actually going to take a group of ladies and our children over there for the day. It is a really small zoo, but it is pretty upkept and it is pretty nice. So we're gonna take tomorrow off, which means I have to really hustle today.
You gotta push it down.
Well, I am done with the hot tub. Jennings has been doing some school in the summer this summer, so I actually went inside to cool off, get some drink. We did a little bit of school work. I'm also helping him with his letter S sound. So it hit me, I guess a couple of weeks ago, that he is still having a really hard time getting the sound out. So I've done a lot of research. I've gotten some help from a local friend. Now, Selah actually goes 2 times to a teacher that we get some dyslexic therapy help from, which is very expensive, by the way, if y'all have never had to pay for that. She goes 2 days a week and for an hour and get some private help there. So I had texted her and was telling her that Jennings was having a really hard time saying a word like sun or snack. It was more like ton and knack. So for the long time, you know, when they're little and they're toddlers, that's really cute. But Jennings is almost 6. He can make the S sound saying something like horse or house. So what I learned to do is emphasize that horse, house, and then I make him repeat the sound. So now we're trying to make the sound un, un. And he is getting there. He can say un, because I make him touch his chin when he makes the sound. He can say un, but when he says sun, he's still going back to that habit of ton. So I have definitely got a major challenge on my hands with retraining a child into speech therapy when I'm not even a speech therapist. So that has been a little interesting. We take at least a portion of every single day and work on that sound, because it is so vitally important that I break that habit. So it is something that we work on every single day. Now I've come back out. I want to give y'all a quick glimpse of some things that have grown. Last time y'all saw some of this stuff, it was very small, but it has grown tremendously. And I'm going to tell you about some challenges that I've already started facing. This area is the asparagus that you guys saw me plant not long ago, which is really taking off, doing well. Some of the sweet potatoes that I put in, sweet potato slips that I put in, have really started off, kicked off and doing well. But y'all, look at this. Yes, those are the squash that I found an old squash in last year. I took the squash, it somehow ended up in my compost pile. I found it early this spring, maneuvering some stuff around. The seeds looked amazing. Y'all, I dropped those seeds in some dirt just to see what they would do. Every one of them sprouted. You are looking at those plants right now. I was a little concerned about maybe cross-pollination in those, but obviously you saw the squash that is growing off right here. They look great. Now, I will say this. In this bed, you will find a couple of things. This is holy basil. I also planted lavender. I also have a couple of different things on this side. Marigolds. This is dill. And y'all, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have already found a squash bug and 2 vine borers. I've been coming out here every single day and taking neem oil and spraying at the base of the plants and down the stems and spraying the leaves, hoping to just make sure that they don't get a whiff of the smells. I planted stuff around them that are supposed to be companion plants. I have a feeling in about 4 weeks that the vine borers are going to destroy my plants. I have not seen that many squash bugs, but all it takes is a vine borer getting in these beds, laying eggs in the dirt. They come up as worms, eat their way into the bottom portions of the roots, work their way into the vines, and basically go out the stems and just eat it dead. if I've been trying to check the stems every single day, and if I see any little notice of a portion being ate out, then I'm going to try to get those worms out as soon as possible. It has been something, again, a daily agenda. I'm out here every single day checking these. It is really upsetting though, knowing that I have companion planted 5 different plants in the squash and they did not repel the vine borers like I had hoped. So that is really disheartening, but I do have wonderful squash right now from seeds that I didn't even have to pay for because they were in a squash back behind my greenhouse, which is pretty cool. Here are some of the things that you guys saw me plant. Tomatoes, basil, marigolds, and sunflower in the back. Some of them are kind of growing at different rates. Those are super slow. You can see the difference there. This sunflower is huge. Right now, I have poured some vinegar on the concrete where one of the rust spots are. I have like a bristle brush. It probably needs to sit a little bit longer. I will say it is breaking some of the spots up. I don't know if it will be as clean as I want it to be. See if I let it sit a little bit longer. No, y'all, I think this actually might work. So it's lightening some of the spots up. It's still not, I do need to let it sit because I just poured it on here. It's only been on there for like a minute. Probably need to let it sit for just a little bit longer. It is lightening some of the spots up. I don't know if it's going to get it up as good as I want it to, but maybe if I do it twice, maybe it'll work. I am a little bit surprised at how easy some of the spots come off. I think I'm going to let this sit for a little bit longer. I've got a couple more things I need to get planted, and then I'm going to come back and scrub some more and we'll see what it's like. Now, I don't know if y'all have been having this kind of issue that I have had with some of my things going in the ground this year. So it's actually been just a little disheartening. You know, I worked so hard to start so many of my things from seed. And it seems like as soon as I pull something out of the greenhouse, I mean, there's not a lot of wind that hits the greenhouse, but I do have a fan on, which kind of mimics the wind. But I mean, it's pretty much all sun, but it's like as soon as I bring it out into the direct sun, it's like the sun is scorching my plants. They go from being vibrant green to transplanting from the greenhouse with the fan on. So I would think that they're kind of already like hardened off because the fan's been on, and it pretty much is full sun constantly anyway. But it has been one of those years, strange kind of years for me. I've never taken anything from the greenhouse and planted it and feel like the sun has scorched it, but I actually feel like that's exactly what's happened. I have had several different raised beds that are not in my caterpillar tunnel, and it's like if I'm putting my plants anywhere in the direct sunlight that they're getting scorched. It's very frustrating. I am considering holding a couple of my things off and not going directly into the sun, maybe bringing them to sit out in the sun for the direct sun for a couple of hours, and maybe trying it like that. Now, personally, because my greenhouse gets full sun all day, I've never had that issue until just this year. I know there's a lot of cloud seeding going on, and it just makes me wonder if that has something to do with the sun's rays. It's like I told y'all, I've never had this problem. I've always pulled stuff out of my greenhouse with full sun, fans being on in there, and I can pretty well transplant. It's not like I'm growing indoors and trying to bring something that's temperature controlled and part sunlight. No, these are our direct sunlight, because all of the light rays are coming through. But it has something to do with bringing it out into the direct sunlight without having that protection of direct beams. So it's like it gets full sunlight, but not direct beams because of the clear material that's in between. So maybe like a shirt. It's like my plants are getting sunburned when I bring them out in the sun. I don't know, it's very weird. I told you I've never had that happen before. So that's something else that I've kind of battled this spring / early summer is my plants getting sunscorched. So I'm going to put a couple more things in a place that I've never had problems with. We're going to see what happens if these peppers can't hold up because of the rays or whatever. I'm going to move to my second option, which is bringing them out for a couple of hours in the day and then putting them back, and do that for several days and maybe see if I can get that plant material exposed to the sun enough where they don't just get totally sunburned, because I really feel like that's what's happening. Okay, final verdict on the concrete. I'm gonna show y'all. Obviously it did lighten it up. I mean, you know, compared, it is a little bit lighter, but you can still see the spot. Obviously I have lots of rust stains on the concrete. I would like to clean some of those up. These pieces, like I told y'all, we're getting stuff off of the concrete pad back here. This is part of the problem right here, so it can't stay here either. It's about to go. And anything else metal can't stay. So we're gonna be moving some of this stuff off. If y'all have any tips or tricks that, obviously, like I said, we lightened the stain, but it is still there. It is still visible. If you have any tips or tricks or any ways that you know of to get rid of rust stains on concrete, please let me know. There are a couple more options I have not tried yet. This was the vinegar and stainless steel pad way. So I have like the stainless steel brush, and it did lighten it up, but it's not gone. So if y'all have any other ways, tips, tricks, or ideas that I could try to get some of that off, a pressure washer will not get it off. So if y'all know of any ways, please let me know in the comments, because I have lots of rust stains like that I really want to get off of our concrete, and no more metal on the concrete. Look, when you take it up, there you go. Knock the dirt back off of it. And then we'll go take it over there to Lamb. But let's look, remember this.
Give that to the chickens.
And we can give some to the chickens too. Just remember to leave one, okay? Why are we going to leave one?
Because we want like vegetables and that.
But what does these flowers right here make? What does these flowers make? Seeds?
I don't know that.
What do the seeds make? More vegetables?
Yeah.
Yeah. This bed has been completely cleaned out, with the exception of what we're leaving for seeds. Y'all saw us leave our arugula plant. Now here's the cool thing. I'm fixing to show y'all the seeds. Okay, so I'm going to open up one of these seed pods, and I'm going to show y'all the seeds, which is why it is so important to learn seed keeping, so that you don't have to depend on buying seeds every time you need seeds. A lot of these are so easy. It was as simple as literally leaving the arugula in the ground, letting the whole thing die off. I'll show y'all a snippet of that in just a minute. But here is the seeds. I actually don't need those, so I'm just going to give them a toss. But here is the arugula plant. You can see that the whole thing has died off and is brown and dead. And it is actually ready to collect seeds. Now my kale, of course, you can see I'm going to be coming out here doing a lot of harvesting of the leaves. Then I'm going to take all the kale up, again except for one, and replant this whole section. Now I do have some asparagus that are gonna be 2 years younger than these plants, but I do need to get them in the ground. So that is likely what is going to be replanted back in this bed. Jennings and I have started harvesting some of the things from over here. This is gonna be our supper tonight, huh, Jen? Yeah. So strawberries over here. What?
And I've been digging away and out here picking.
Yeah, we did have some kind of cruddy coal, but here's the 2 bowls we're gonna be taking in tonight for supper. Jennings, tell us what they are.
So these are strawberries, and these, I got what they call
Mulberry.
mulberries, yeah.
And what else did you pick in this big bowl?
Salad.
What'd you pick?
Salad.
You like salad?
Oh yeah. We like salad.
So we have some mulberries and some strawberries and some salad that's gonna be going in. Supper tonight, I also have hamburger steaks already on. Aiden is chopping up some sweet potatoes right now as we speak. We're gonna have some sweet potato cubes with that, along with some fruit dropped into a salad. So it is going to be a good supper meal tonight, to be honest with you guys. I've gotten a little lax with our diets recently, and we're going to get a little bit more strict with that. And I hope to one day get to the point where if we don't grow it, we don't eat it. That will definitely be a slow process with the little kids for sure. Colby and I wouldn't be that big of a deal. With little kids, it's a little bit harder. And of course, everybody has their own taste buds. So some people like this and some people don't like this, which makes things a little bit more difficult. But it is the best way to go. If you don't grow it, you don't eat it.
I'm so hot right now.
And it is pretty hot out here, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We're gonna finish up our chores today. There's a couple more mulberries on this tree. All right, hold on, Jen, hold on. Let me get some clippings. When we get done right here, we're gonna go in, of course, have our supper. We're gonna prep for tomorrow because we're going to the zoo tomorrow without Daddy. Daddy can't come. Why can't Daddy come, Jen?
We have to work so much like he's working right now.
He's got to work tomorrow. He's not gonna be able to come with us. But we're gonna start prepping for that tomorrow. We are taking our own lunch. We're gonna have a picnic there. So we're gonna head in and finish up our supper preparations, prep for tomorrow so that we're not having to eat on the road.
God bless. I'm homesteading, y'all.
God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.